Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ozarks by Road. I'm Marshall, and I'm a University of Arkansas student looking to share everything I've learned about the Ozarks. Today we're going to talk about the Buffalo National River. The Buffalo River is a 153-mile-long river located in northern Arkansas. It cuts through the Ozark and Boston Mountains to provide majestic views of lime and sandstone bluffs and mountain forests. Today, America's first national river holds some of Arkansas's most popular natural activities. But how did it get here? The Buffalo National River first formed millions of years ago, starting in a time where the Ozark region was unrecognizable. Until about 300 million years ago, what is now Arkansas was actually the site of a large ocean. The only part of the Ozarks that was visible were the mountain peaks, which formed small, scattered islands. The Ozarks' tectonic plate was slowly pushed upwards, draining the ocean as it moved. Over time, sediment deposited by the sea hardened into limestone and sandstone, which is why we see classic yellow bluffs today. This movement of water caused massive erosion on the soft limestone, which cut deep valleys into the mountains. The deep valleys provided a space for spring water to freely flow and further cut into the earth. This is precisely how the buffalo formed, as it poured out of numerous springs located in the Boston Mountains. Along with being old, the buffalo has been long inhabited. The first humans settled along the river over 14,000 years ago. Paleo-Indians lived in caves and covered areas along the bluffs, in many of the same scenic sections of the river that are popular hiking spots today. Historically, the Osage people had the most established roots near the buffalo, living and hunting along the shores and surrounding hills, and navigating the river for trade. They also constructed villages near the fertile bottomlands, taking advantage of the area's biodiversity, which included deer, bison, fish, and edible plants. Starting in the 1700s, however, the Osage were gradually pushed out by encroaching settlers, including the Cherokee and other groups that moved into the area due to displacement from the eastern United States. The Cherokee and other smaller tribes used the region, and their presence left a cultural imprint on the area. Archaeological evidence such as burial mounds, stone tools, and pottery fragments can still be found along the river, offering insight into the lives of these early inhabitants. European settlers first began arriving in the Buffalo River area in the early 1800s. They were drawn to the fertile soil and had a desire for land, which was becoming scarcer in the more populated eastern United States. Early settlers primarily came from Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Carolinas. These settlers were often subsistence farmers who cleared land, raised crops, and hunted game. As more settlers arrived, towns began to emerge near the river, with people relying on the Buffalo River for water, transportation, and fishing. The river also became an important route for the movement of goods. By the mid-20th century, the Buffalo River, like many other natural areas, faced threats from industrialization and development. By 1938, the free-flowing buffalo was targeted as a desired location for a hydroelectric dam by the Army Corps of Engineers. However, by this point, the communities along the river had developed a strong sense of pride and connection to the river and the people living in the wild and untouched nature alongside it. A group of concerned citizens, which included local residents, conservationists, and activists, formed the Buffalo River Preservation Society in order to protect the river from the proposed damming projects that would have drastically altered the river's course and environment. The society took many courses of action in order to spread their message. The Shiloh Museum of Ozark History talks about some of these endeavors on their Minute History segment on the Buffalo River.
While they wrote letters, organized river cleanups and float trips, and hosted a visit by Supreme Court Justice William O. Douglas, the National Park Service surveyed the river's history, geology, plants, and wildlife.
The surveyors were highly impressed by the natural beauty and lack of industrialization in the area, and pushed for the creation of a new kind of national park, a national river. In order to protect the buffalo from the intended industrialization, the park needed a champion, but they found three. Arkansas Congressman John Paul Hammerschmidt, J. William Fulbright, and John L. McKellen began lobbying their fellow politicians to put forward a bill to designate the Buffalo as a national river. By 1972, they had put the bill forward, and it had been signed into law by Richard Nixon, which protected the buffalo and the surrounding wilderness for future generations. Since its designation as a national river, the buffalo has been maintained and protected by the National Park Service. It manages the river and its surrounding lands for recreational use, environmental education, and preservation. Now you can visit the river in canoe or kayak beneath the massive bluffs, swim in the cool, deep water, fish alongside the banks, or hike through the hills. Popular trails such as the Billy Goat Bluff take you right over the river, giving you a spectacular bird's-eye view of the Ozarks. The river and its many adventures are waiting for you, so go on and experience them. This has been Ozarks by Road. Thank you for listening.